All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Ben's Brick Designs. I'm Ben. Happy Sunday. Hope you're doing well. Hope your weekend's going well. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you coming in, as always. Sorry about canceling last week. We had not a really emergency, but I'd scheduled the stream, and then at the last minute, Beth got home. We had a thing with a dog that I'd forgotten about, and when she got home and I'd already made dinner, and she said, "Aren't you streaming tonight?" And I looked at the clock on my phone and it ticked over to 8 o'clock. And I went, "Oh, not ready for that." And I still did take care of, our dog's got problems with her paws. She's got allergies from all the pollen in Austin. So they get in her paws and then she licks them, and she licked them pretty raw. So we had to put a coat on her, trying to put little booties on her, and it was kind of a mess. So kind of just blew it off. But I'm back now, and we're going to build some droids. We're going to get C-3PO built. This was kind of the last purchase of the 2025 year. This is my Christmas present to myself, having not received any Lego from anyone, which is fine. I got a bunch of other great stuff. And I've been eyeing this one for a while. Good morning, Bev. So let's get into it. Hopefully we will be able to get through this without any technical issues. But yeah, so this is probably the last droid that they'll do until they start redoing them. Like, I can't think of another droid that would get this treatment. There are a couple other droids like B2EMO, B2EMO. Good morning, Missy. How are you? That have been featured in shows. So like the droid from Andor, the mopey droid from Andor. But other than that, I can't, there's a handful of other, protocol droids that we kind of see. We see tactical droids from Clone Wars, but I would love to see, a tactical droid or one of the commando droids be built in this style. That would be interesting, so. But we'll go ahead and get into it. How's everybody's weekend going? Hope you had a good weekend so far. Yesterday was our, I don't even want to say umpteenth annual or whatever, but our annual Lord of the Rings marathon and feast day, where I invite a bunch of people over. And I put on, God, I hope this doesn't have any stickers. I have to look. I didn't even think about that. I put on Lord of the Rings starting at about 10 a.m. It used to be 8 a.m. so we could line up 11sies. But yesterday it started at 10 a.m. And we just watch all the extended editions all day. And by watch, I mean they're on in the background. And they're on in 2 different rooms. Yeah, I kind of figured it would be some stickers. For some stuff, but this guy's going to be a display, so the stickers will go on. I'll put these over here. So yeah, for the past, God, it has been some 14, maybe 15 years. I forget how long. But it's super fun. Everybody brings over food. Bag 1. I'll keep bag 2 over here. We're gonna get through probably 4 bags today. There are 11. I don't think we're gonna get through more than 4, maybe 5. 3. So we'll do these first 4. So yeah, to come together, pop in, pop out, have the movies on in the background on a couple screens, and just eat all day and hang out and chat and drink and be merry. And it's taken on a different shape that a lot of my friends are starting to have kids or have several kids already, and they're getting to be a little older. We've got one kid who's already 5, 6, 5. And a couple of the other ones are like 2 years old, toddlers, so still some small kids. And of course, my kids roll in, and they're 24 and 21. So, but yeah, Greg was here all day looking for pieces from an old set. I'd given him the Spider-Verse CMFs for Christmas. Morning, Johnny. Thanks for being here. And now he's got like he's got all this Lego stuff now, and I feel like he's coming out of his dark age a little bit because he wants more Lego stuff. And it's been maybe about 8 or 9 years since he and Rowan both were like, here's all the Lego you've given us over the years back. We know you really like it. We don't really want it. And I'm like, fair enough. But then he spent all day yesterday going through all my unsorted Lego because he's trying to find all the pieces for an old Daily Bugle set that he had. And all the figures that go with it and everything. So it's he was just chilling in here, having a grand old time. So that was kind of nice. And then Rowan and their boyfriend showed up and hung out for like an hour and just kind of, shot the breeze a little bit and then took off to go play video games. So this is a 25th anniversary Star Wars set. I don't believe it's been out that long, but it's been out for a while. Star Wars 25th anniversary. Star Wars Lego 25th anniversary. Oh, that makes sense. I'm like, Star Wars is older than that. Anyway, so I think this is just a note from one of the lead designers and directors and whatnot. So, Dominic, hello, how are you? Welcome in. Happy Sunday. So there's some stories from other people, the design team, and some of the back history of, you can read all this in the instructions. Here's, some information about some of the new pieces. This set's a little older. I think it came out earlier last year. So here's the model designer, some information from him, and then all the stuff. So we'll probably get a 25th anniversary little plaque at the end of this. And then more. So there's a lot of preamble for this one. Wow. Bought something great a few days ago. It's a Jada Toys scale tumbler Batmobile. Cool. 1/32 scale. That's pretty big. All right, let's get cracking. So I think what I might do also is when this is done, figure out if all the parts on his left arm can be replaced with a red, so I can say, oh, you didn't recognize me with my red arm bit. I think that'd be fun. So, oh, also would like to show you guys. So I've started doing, for those of you in the Discord, I started doing more theme bending ideas for Star Wars ships. So I'm taking all the late 80s, early 90s space themes that they have and applying them to Lego ships. So I've already got 4 done. For those of you who already know, I've got an X-Wing done in Futron style. That's pretty basic because it's a white ship. I just had to replace some of the more colorful like markings, X-Wing markings with like basic black and trans red and trans blue. And then I've got a Blacktron TIE Fighter. Again, most of the TIE Fighter wings were already black, so you have to replace the whole ball with black instead of gray and then put the yellow highlights on it. An M-Tron Slave 1, which looks really fly. And then a Tidarium shuttle done in Ice Planet 2002. So those are already done. I'm going to try to recreate them in Studio as well so I can have them on file. And I want to finish it all off. So I've got M-Tron, or I've got Unitron, Spyrius, Explorians, Blacktron 2, Space Police 2, UFO, and then I think I stopped with Insectoids. I don't think I did Insectoids. Oh, I did do Insectoids. Okay, cool. And RoboForce is the other one. So those are all the ones that kind of brought us up to like the late 80s or the mid 90s, I think. I think they stopped with 2001. I might also do Rock Raiders because I think Rock Raiders was right at the edge of that. So like 99 might be Rock Raiders. Jawa Sandcrawler, I think, would be a good Rock Raider set. But I did, so I've already got this one done. So this is a Spirius A-Wing. So there's like 15 A-Wing sets. This is one of the simpler ones. Not too recent, I think about 10 years ago. But it looked like, I liked the way it was built, and I think it fit really well with the Explorians style. So this is just, I built it as is in studio and then just replaced the colors. And the only part I had to replace was the canopy, and the canopy doesn't open now. It kind of sits on there, but it does come in that color. And everything, you know, I change the colors and then kind of tweak it and see which colors I like better, and then check the side to see if there's any conflicts of colors, and there weren't. So I'm like, done. So hopefully they'll all be that easy, and I'll start being able to build them. I'm trying to do sets that I already have, but this was one I didn't have already. So yeah, it'll be a fun project. I don't think I'll get it done by Brick Rodeo, but we'll see what happens. The version that I bought is the one without the figure. Jada made 2 versions. Okay, cool. Is Jada Toys another like brick construction? I won't say Lego knockoff, but Lego competitor, because I think the term knockoff is a little, it's got a connotation with it that it's somehow like lesser or fake. But I think anymore, a lot of these alternate builds or alternate companies' bricks are very good. I'm actually even seeing ads for Lumibrick on YouTube when we're watching Taskmaster. So I think I might start getting some Lumibrick, not real soon, maybe not. I'm going to try to save up a little more for our trip, but maybe by next year, start getting some cyberpunk stuff. See how that goes. I'm just interested in seeing how the lighting works. Seeing some of what Johnny's been doing with his stuff. It looks nice. Oh, it's a die-cast company. Okay, cool. Man, I miss getting like die-cast robots and like Transformer type toys, but like Japanese models of stuff. I also think I want to start trying to figure out how to do an aerial bots. If there's not one already out there, I'm sure somebody on Rebrickable's done this. A aerial bots combiner set, so build all 6 aerial bots plus the ability to turn them into, I think it's Superion is the name of the big robot that they combine into. So I think that'll be fun. Interesting. That's going to be a new piece for me, this pearl gold with the snot bricks on either side. So at the time when this set came out, I think it introduced a ton of new parts. So 1/32 scale, in terms of like, put a banana next to it, what kind of scale is that? Is that like, you know, this big? Is it like that big? I can't, not knowing model scale, like just offhand, is that pretty big or is it like an average size model? 5 aerial bots, that's right. It was a Concorde. I'm trying to remember the types of planes. A Concorde was the main body, and I don't remember any of their names. But I remember the planes. It was a Harrier for the right arm. It was an F-16 for the left arm. An F-15 and Harrier, F-4 were the arms, and then an F-16 and an F-15 for the feet. And I don't think we ever got an F-14. It was an F-16 and an Eagle and a Thunderbolt. Hey, Brett's Builds, how's it going? Transformers, Fast and Furious, Knight Rider, Back to the Future, nice. That's some good stuff. That's some good properties there, boy. So yeah, full day of Lord of the Rings yesterday. Quite nice, quite chill, despite having a lot of people here. Started at 10 a.m. and went till about, the last people who left about 1 in the morning. So it was, the movies ended at like 9:30 something. Almost 10 o'clock. All extended edition, all straight through. Luckily, we were able to stream them, so I didn't have to flip discs or anything. Kids had a good time. I had a bunch of extra Lego stuff that they could take apart and play with, and they did their best to take them apart and spread them all over the house, so that's nice. I'll be able to look for all my extra parts later today. Good time was had by all. What are you up to today, Brett? What are we building, collecting, watching? We got Dominic in here with some die-cast stuff he loves talking about. Super cool. Yeah, I missed like the any kind of transformable or mech die-cast robot thing. We used to get a few of them back in the day when they were kind of a little cheaper. And by cheap, I mean like cheaply made, not inexpensive. But they were still, like some metal. It was like half metal, half... Even the Transformers were like half metal, half plastic. 14 centimeters long. Oh, that's not carried away. That's pretty good. Nice castle layout. Good to hear everybody's doing some mock work. Yeah, I think I'm gonna probably end up biting off more than I can chew for Brick Rodeo, but I'm gonna get done what I can. And then I think I'm probably doing like 3 different building workshops. At least 2. I'll do a studio workshop, and then I might do a microfighter workshop. But then also I'm doing the con mock for Brick Rodeo, so there's going to be a workshop where we go through and build it together kind of thing. So that'll be fun. 124, gotcha. Makes sense, thank you. Thank you for the information. When I was littler, I think I transitioned a little bit from, it's roughly the same time now that I think about it, but I did a lot of combat aircraft models when I was a kid and then hung them up, everybody does. But got really into it with painting and decal placement. Really into combat aircraft. Thought I was going to be a combat pilot for a long time. And then I realized that you had to join the Air Force to do that. And in order to join the Air Force, you needed pretty good grades in school, and I didn't have that. Built the Succulent. Succulent's a great set. So if you just see Jada model up close, you see how big they were. Very cool. I might look them up after this. I don't need any more hobbies, but I'd like to see what they look like. Working on Brick Rodeo mocks this weekend. Nice. So it's cool. We got a lot of slope, like all the gold parts in this are going to be great to have. But again, I don't know how much this will get taken apart because it'll be a display piece. I will say a full day of socializing yesterday, not even just a couple hours, but like a full day. My voice is trashed. Like we went to breakfast this morning and I'm just like, can we not talk for like 2 minutes? I just don't want to. Of course, then I'm going to come home and stream for 2 hours because that makes sense. And then the rest of the day is going to be cleaning up the house and doing Lego stuff and got a shipment of parts from Bricklink, so I got a figure that I wanted for the lug meeting mock that we're working on, and then more parts for the stadium, so I can keep working on the stadium. I'm excited to get further on the stadium, so after this build, there will be more stadium design stuff and studio coming up. So everybody get ready for that. Super funness. So other than con mocks, anybody got anything exciting coming up in the next month or so? Any trips? Looking forward to any movies? We can talk TV shows if you want to talk TV shows. Oh, for those who are into Letterkenny / Shoresy, which is probably nobody here, because I feel like I'm the only one who is. If you haven't seen Heated Rivalry yet, you might want to check it out. It's by the same guy who directs Letterkenny and Shoresy, Jeremy Tierney. He also plays the pastor on Letterkenny. He's made a show called Heated Rivalry, which is kind of a gay romance hockey player, will they won't they kind of thing. It's apparently really good. And I haven't watched it yet. I keep meaning to. But yeah, also if you haven't watched Letterkenny, I don't even want to know you. Never Too Old, how are you? Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Hope you're doing well. What are you working on? Oh, that's right. You'd mentioned that in the chat I missed because I canceled it. Well, I mean, I probably will not get through all of it today, so I'll do the remaining bags Thursday. I'll go as far as I can today, then I'll probably finish it out on Thursday, or finish it off stream and then go back to designing on Thursday. So Treebeard, right on. Yeah, speaking of Lord of the Rings, that Treebeard set is pretty fun. I didn't get any pictures of it, and I already took it off, but I put, for Christmas, I had put snow on him. And instead of the rock he was holding a big old present. So present, and then like, I took off a couple like the green leaves and put on, so like his beard was white, and then I put on some cheese slopes and dots for snow on his shoulders and stuff. If I would have got real sparky, I could have put like Christmas sweaters on the hobbits. But yeah, that was fun, but I already took it all off. Packed away all the Christmas Lego stuff. That'd be kind of a fun mock to do, is if you've got, it's not Orthanc. Is it Orthanc? Sauron's Tower is Orthanc, right? And have it besieged by Ents. So you start off with that Treebeard one, and then just make your own different tree figures, throwing boulders and stuff. I think that'd be a lot of fun as a mock. Oh, it's a third-party one with lights and moving effects. Wow, very cool. That's right, because he goes, you want the keys to Orthanc and the wands of the something in the Seven Wizards. Never understood that line. I'm like, there's not the rods of the Seven Kings and the wands of the Five Wizards. When he's shouting at Gandalf about something. There was a lot of actually going on yesterday while we were watching it because we're all big nerds. but it was fun. I liked it. Yes, all the likes, all the subscribes. Some nice overlap with that piece right there. I always forget the overlapping that you can do with that. I always think of this as like a fin accent, something that like sticks up on the side, but I forget you can overlap it. It's good. Good piece for that. Yeah, it was good seeing my kid back into doing Lego stuff, and he's over there organizing while he goes all the minifigures. I'm like, if you want, I know, because he got an internship overseas to do some something for like a position that he's got. He got a new job doing this, so he's taking some classes overseas over the summer in the UK next year. And so he's, working and earning money and raising money and stuff. I was like, I'll pay you to help me sort my Lego. And he's like, all right, well, I would love to, but the problem is I would sort it for me because then I need to know where everything is. I'm like, okay, well, that's not going to work for me. I already kind of know where everything is. I just need you to put stuff in that, But also it's to the point where I need new drawers because there's some drawers that are overflowing a little and I need to redo some stuff. So such is the life of an AFOL. It's like 40% sorting, if not more than that. Oh, we got some actual gold on here. We've got the pearl gold for the most part, but then we've got some actual, they call this like metallic ink gold or whatever. A couple little pieces of that in here. Wow. Okay, so I missed... When did I miss that? There's like a lot of pieces left over here. What's up, George? How goes it? I have a box for you of figures. And then I owe you monies. So here's all the figures I bagged up. I bagged up all these guys individually and I put the tiles in there with them. And then the other 3 got their own bag. So there's 8 in there. That's all for you at the next meeting. And then I'll Venmo you the rest when we get there if you're going to be at the meeting. If not, we'll figure something else out. How are you? How's it going? Sweet. I appreciate it as well. That was a bit more of a slog than I wanted. The figures are from a set that I sorted out. I kind of explained it last time. We missed lug bulk one year. And so the lug ended up buying, well, the lug didn't buy. One of the users in the lug found a really good deal at a Walmart, and so they used their credit card to buy it all, like an entire pallet of sets, and then lug members would pay them back, and everybody got 8 of one thing and 5 or 3 of another, and they've just been sitting over here for the past like year and a half. So I finally sorted all the parts out this weekend, and I had all these extra figures. And I'm not a figure guy, so I know George has a brickling shop, and I was like, hey, do you want these? I'll trade you. But yeah, that took a full weekend just sorting out 8 boxes of sets. Okay, I did that wrong. How's it going in your world? You got any plans, George? Or did you do anything this weekend? Any more shows that you're doing, or displaying at or anything? Did you do any stuff with IckyCon with Josh? I don't know who did that. Who brought mocks to show off there? I didn't because I had stuff going on yesterday, and I know what's going on today too. Oh man, ski poles in gold. Look at that. Oh, excuse me. Late night. Trying to think of anything else is going on. There's no real new Lego news. Smart Brick is the big thing that's come out lately. I think I wanted to try to talk about it last stream because it was new. Then it's been a good 4 or 5 days now. Oh, cool. Custom Lego pieces? That's pretty rad. I may have to work with you on a Horizon Zero Dawn headdress piece. I probably need 3D printed, and then I'll need to paint or something. Yeah, well, I hate to break it to you. Brick Rodeo is going to be far for you too, because it's going to be in the same location. But yeah, I can see that. You're like a good hour away minimum, hour and a half. No, not hour and a half, hour. But yeah, I think it's going well. Oh, I think I'm talking to Josh to talk to the board about getting flash tattoos done at Brick Rodeo. Talking to the lady who did my tattoos last. Asked her if it's something she would do, and she said yes, and gave me her prices. So hopefully we can swing something. I think it'll be a lot of fun. Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, that's the printer the UV printer that Josh got was like a floor demo model, and they didn't have it commercially available, and he's like, I'll take this, and they're like, well, we don't really sell it, and he's like, well, but I'll take this one, and they gave him kind of a discount on it, and now he's got a really nice setup. So yeah, hopefully that works out. But yeah, eventually when my brain decides to slow down and go back to other projects that aren't done, and I go back to the advent calendar, I'd like to figure out how to get a headdress for one of the characters. I still need to do design stuff in like GIMP or something where I can get the printing designs done for the figures so I can at least get those. I was playing with it the other day, and like, I feel like I'm an okay artist, but sometimes when you have to learn a new thing, it's not like you're even taking your artistic skills and applying them, like pen and paper or something, but you're also having to learn a new tool, which I feel restricts the artistic ability. You're just like, I'm just trying to make this draw a curved line. That's all I needed to do. So I got some ways into it, but it is going to take a while. Nice. That'd be a cool one to big fig print. I should send that to my son. He does some 3D printing. But I don't think his printer's like really great. It's okay. That'd be fun to do though. George just sent a thing about a 3D printed why can't I think of the word, gingerbread Darth Vader, but a big fig, right? That'd be super rad. Nice. Oh, that's cool. You can like emboss stuff. Well, I got one leg done. Pretty close to done anyway. Yeah, I get an extra gold ski pole. An extra cheese wedge. All right. From this point on, I just want to put a lampshade on it and call it a major award. It's a leg. Oh, nice. Oh, somebody got a hold of that 3D print file then pretty fast. They've already got one. Because, I mean, the set only came out... Well, I mean, the set came out last October. Like, early October. So they've had a while to get it designed. And I'm sure if you've already got some assets built in, you're just recoloring stuff. The latest Bricklink order I made was because I have a minifigure that's a clean room minifigure that came with the rocket assembly set. The big, like, had like a gantry and it had like a rocket that went in it, and then the rocket also went on like a big crawler that could be like driven out to the launch pad, and then it came with like a little office with a guy with a computer and a coffee mug. But the clean room guy was really cool because he had like a bonnet and then like a mask and then like a white suit. And so I was like, oh, this would be really rad. So the mock that I wanted to build, I wanted to get at least 2 more of them. But on Bricklink, every store was only selling 1. So you'd have to order it from 2 stores, and they were like $2. And I was like, oh, I don't want to have to just order one thing for $2 and then pay $5 shipping. So I ended up getting a bunch of extra parts for the stadium, just like 1x8 gray plates and a bunch of 2x6 bricks and stuff. If I wanted more than one figure from one shop had 2, and they were $26 each. They were charging $26. And I'm like, I'm basically paying you to not have to shop at 2 shops, which was ridiculous. I was like, nope. Hector from Scarface. Now the leg, huh? Mm. Yup. So this is a question for the chat. We were watching after Lord of the Rings was over yesterday, 9:30 or 10 o'clock or whatever it was, maybe 9 o'clock. I put on the Rankin and Bass Hobbit from like 1977. Who here remembers The Hobbit from 1977? The Rankin and Bass one. There's lots of singing and You can hear a lot of the voices that they were being used were also used in Thundercats. So that might be a little familiar. You can hear some of them. Lion-O especially, I think Tigra, Snarf. I think some of them were reused from that same, because it's the same kind of production company. Mum-Ra, you could hear Mum-Ra. So how many people have seen that? And then, even more obscure, is how many people have seen the Rankin and Bass Return of the King. They didn't do a full Lord of the Rings, but they did do Return of the King. It's wild. Like, you can watch it on YouTube, but it comes in like 2-minute chunks. So it's a big playlist. So it just goes through this playlist of videos. So we watched that. What we didn't watch was the Ralph Bakshi. Ooh, I haven't seen this piece in a while. That's nice. Hope there's a lot more of these. I could use those. The Ralph Bakshi Lord of the Rings cartoon, which was basically a lot of rotoscoped stuff, some animation, but it's hilariously cultish now because it's awful. They ran out of money partway through the animation process, and so they had to like rotoscope a lot of the other stuff. So they filmed almost a whole movie with actors in costume and swords and stuff like that, and then went back and kind of, painted over it in the filming process, rotoscoped it, and it's really bad. But I always have a soft spot for the Rankin and Bass Hobbit. The singing that they do, the fantastic articulated hands. Somebody really knew how to draw hands. But it's very fun. And one of the guys who was here, one of my friends was like, the Gollum in this one gave me nightmares. And when Gollum showed up and started talking, he's like, yep, I think it's time for me to go. Like, well, hope you don't have nightmares tonight. Definitely a trippy Gollum. So there's going to be a new show, I don't know if it's a movie or a show, coming out. The Hunt for Gollum. And I'm pretty sure Ian McKellen and Viggo Mortensen are both in it. Which, Viggo Mortensen... The problem is, The Hunt for Gollum happened... between The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings. Like, after Smeagol was captured, and then they let him go. I think this is where the story is going. And Aragorn and Gandalf are looking for him because he has knowledge about the enemy. And they're trying to hunt him down and make sure he doesn't give away stuff and whatever. But I'm like, I'm okay with it because, I like seeing more Lord of the Rings stuff. Like, I know Rings of Power isn't great, but I like watching it because it's more Lord of the Rings stuff. But at the same time, I'm like, could you recast Aragorn and Gandalf? I know they're iconically played by Viggo and Ian. But I mean, Ian McKellen's in his 80s now. Viggo Mortensen is not a young person anymore either. And I don't know what kind of mental gymnastics they're going to try to play with us where they're like, see these really ancient guys? This happened right after Frodo decided to leave, or right before Frodo decided to leave the Shire. It's just hard to square that circle. But that may just be me. We also were reminiscent on the Shadow of Mordor video game that had one of the greatest combat mechanics of all time with the Nemesis system, which I think they should bring back. I think more games should have a Nemesis system. It was a lot of fun to play. And I get it, it's a little time, it's, you know, you gotta write a script for it basically and have voice actors fill in extra lines that aren't part of really the story. So it's a little intensive, and you gotta rewrite code to indicate how strong they become after a fight, blah, blah, blah. But I still think it's a really good way to keep it interesting if you're just fighting the same, like, low-level grunts all the time, you know. Not just kind of perpetually level them up as well, but also figure out a way to make it interesting. But Shadows of Mordor was a fun game. Also interested if anybody's played Control. There's a new version of Control coming out, new game. Control : something. It looks really fun. And I realized, I was watching the trailer, two things. It looks very SCP coded. So like the Anti-Memetics Division book I was talking about recently, that kind of ideas take shape in the real world and everything's a little more trippy than we imagine it. And so I was kind of researching the game a little bit, and I found a video that says, crash course, here's all you need to know about the game Control before the new game comes out. And it starts in with, if you haven't played the 2019, 17, whatever game, this is your crash course to understand what's going on in that world. And I stopped the video and I'm like, why don't I just play the game? So I think that'll be the next game I get. Speaking of this size of, I'm assuming that's what's going to happen. Yeah. This size of model, is anybody planning on getting the Lego Iron Man Mark III model? Because that does look pretty cool. I think I'll add it to my list, but I'll get it later, maybe next year. I don't see that one retiring real soon. Yeah, la la la. All right. Your sticker application. All right, because it's on a ball joint, it's got a slight twist. You can see the slight twist there. It connected to these toe balls in the sockets underneath there. So it's got kind of a twist. So that's as big as his leg and feet are going to be, and that's going to be the built-in stand. And then we're already on the way to building his hip. So first part of his hip and lower abdomen. Yeah, Sauron helmet looks good. Oh. It's the exclusive figure that's going to make it impossible to get down the road. All right, bag 4. We're making pretty good time. I usually only do a bag every half hour, but 4 bags within an hour is pretty good. It's not a complicated build, apparently. There's not a ton of parts per bag either. So, give you any indication, this we might be able to get it all done today. Depends on how the rest of this goes. Yeah, it's all pretty basic snot builds and stuff, so if you haven't built this yet, I think Never Too Old was looking to build this next week. So let's give you some idea of how uncomplicated it is. And I mean, carrying on self-conversations while building it, give you any idea that it's not too wildly complicated. Yeah. Yeah, and those helmets are what? They're not terribly pricey. What was the figure? Was it like a small minifig Witch King? I didn't get Baradur, so I don't know what the figure was. Excuse me. Sauron, okay. Yeah, they give us the actual figure of Sauron, but then you have to pretend it's 2,000 years ago. And he's not. They have both, like the Baradur with the eye at the top, and then I'm sure there's a ring somewhere. So he's in multiple places at once. When is season 3 of Rings of Power coming out? Probably too far away, right? They've wrapped filming as of a month ago. Oh, it probably won't be out till 2027. Man, that's a long time. I know they're expensive shows and it takes a long time to make expensive shows. So, like Pluribus season 2 is going to be like 3 years in the making. Hello, Fudgington. How are you? Thanks for being here. Hope everything's going well with you. I fart to you, sir. Okay. All right, good to hear. I wish you luck with that. I mean, that's just a big old tower of snot bricks right there. Big old tower of snot bricks right there. So Beth and I are slowly planning our trip to the UK, and I came up with a tentative itinerary of the places we want to go. And it's mostly places that we want to go see. She wants to see Loch Ness. Like the highlights of the trip will be gonna go see Greg Davis in London, and then she wanted to go to see Loch Ness. Is also a shiny one? Yes. I want to go to a Lady Arsenal game. And then in between, we're like see comedians and panel shows. Like, we don't really have anything outside of that. Oh, go to Liverpool, see Paul McCartney's childhood home or something like that. But that's kind of it. So the rest of it's like, are we going to go see, go to London, Tower of London, see the Tower Bridge? Are we going to go to Big Ben? Are we going to go to, the Clock Tower? Because the Clock Tower is actually called something else. It's the clock itself that's called Big Ben. But yeah, just trying to map out bus routes and flights and stuff like that. A lot of that can't be booked yet. It's in December of next year, or this year, but coming up December. And it's just gonna, this is the step I missed last time. I was so worried about the last part here. Shiny silver. Silver and gold. Silver and gold. But we're excited. And then at the end of the trip, we'll fly to Denver, or we'll fly to Colorado to see family for Christmas, or slightly ahead of Christmas. Still kind of want to be back in time for Yule with the rest of the family. So I'm hoping we can swing all that and not exhaust ourselves doing too much. And I think outside of Brick Rodeo, I don't have a whole, 2026 isn't going to be a huge, hopefully, knock on wood, not going to be a ton of excitement going on other than whatever's happening in the world right now kind of thing. But we got our target of the end of the year. We got a target of mid-July for the convention. But we originally were going to try to go to Toronto and Vancouver to see. I was like, I wanted to go with the travel team, Los Verdes, and watch Austin FC play in Toronto and Vancouver. And Beth was like, I would love to go to Toronto or Vancouver. I was like, do you want to go to the games? And she's like, no. I'm like, okay, you can hang at the hotel on the days that we go to the soccer game, and then the other days we'll go look around the city. Or you can go look around the city, I don't care. Do whatever you want. Starting to get into the silver leg here. Silver lower shin. Replacement part for Threepio. All right, I think I have one more of these than I should have. But everything looks right. Extra parts. Yeah, looking back on it, I think that's all there. Other side's looking pretty slick. So bag 5, wow. And bag 5 almost has no pieces in it. Very light. So let's talk about the smart brick, shall we? I didn't get a chance to kind of talk in person about it. I know we've debated on the Discord a little bit. And it's gone round and round on the Lug Discord and oh, thanks, Johnny. I was going to leave him. He wasn't really going to do anything else. But I appreciate it. So the smart brick, first of all, I've got two things about the smart brick. One, I'm going to go ahead and get this off my chest. I'm really kind of upset with the LAN about not getting us an opportunity as a lug in a city that has a very large international event that goes on every year. It's a big tech event to go along with the big movie and big music event, South by Southwest. And we have an opportunity at this event to display as a lug. I was able to talk us into getting basically in for free without paying vendor fees to display Lego. And I told the LAN, and when I mean I told the LAN, I told the people who kind of we go through for applications and reporting and stuff like that, that we were doing this. And I was like, hey, if you have anything you'd like to demo, like any new technologies, and this was before we even knew about smart bricks. If you have anything you'd like to show, like if you'd like to send us some stuff, right? We're not applying for sets to give to our group as rewards for helping with the event, or a lot of sets to like be interactive with the public at the event. This is just, we're going to be there. We already have an in. If you need a footprint or a presence there, if you'd like to send us something, and maybe if a person would like to come with, somebody from your marketing group to talk about a thing that you guys have going on. This is mid-November, right? And I was still working the deal with South by, and when they're finally like, yeah, okay, we'll get you set up, I'm like, sweet. Talk to the LAN. I'm like, we're gonna be at this thing. Do you guys want to do something here? Didn't hear. Finally, because this is basically how it goes there. I messaged the guy who's in charge of kind of this stuff, and I didn't hear back for a while. And I was like, well, this is kind of unfortunate and sad and disappointing. So I copied another guy, and I was like, I don't think this other guy really is involved, but I know he kind of responds a little more and can answer some questions. So what do you guys think about this? And then the first guy responds and says, thank you for copying this other guy. I'm really bad at checking my messages on the LAN. I'm like, that's your whole job, is to work with us. Like, if you're bad at doing that, you're bad at your job. This is also after we find out that all the reports that we've written about stuff just don't get read. It's like, what do you guys do? Anyway, I was like, okay, cool. Well, thanks for, copying. I'm glad I was able to contact you. What do you think of this idea? We'll be there on these dates. Is there anything you'd like for us to do for you? What's called market alignment, right? Or marketing alignment. Is there anything Lego would like shown off at South by which we could be a vehicle for that? And after a little while, I finally got something last week that was like, well, this is right in the middle of all the big changes at the LAN, and we won't really be able to handle these applications until April or May. And I wrote back and I was like, okay, well, I understand that, and that's kind of disappointing and upsetting, but I want to remind you, I wasn't applying for anything. I was just asking if you guys wanted to do something, right? Literally a week later, the Consumer Electronics Expo had the whole thing about the smart bricks. And I'm like, this is exactly what I was talking about. So I sent that back to them and it was like, something like this. Like, you don't have to send us smart bricks for the lug, but if you wanted to send us a couple sets to demo it, and then we can like send them back to you, like we don't need to keep them. But if you wanted us to show, we're going to be at something called an Emerging Tech Expo, right? Emerging Tech. And that's what you're trying to do with it. I just was so upset. And they're like, yeah, well, we don't think we're going to be able to get it done in time. Meanwhile, we had one of the guys that I copied on this give me a phone call and ask, do you have somebody you think would be able to put together a set within a couple days if we sent it to them, have them build it, and then bring it to a certain location? And I'm like, yeah. They're like, could you give me some names by the end of the week or whatever? I'm like, I could get you a name in 5 minutes. And sure enough, George on here was like, I'll do it. Sweet. They sent a set. They sent him payment. I think the payment got a little late. They put him in touch with somebody, like all within a day. It was a little shaky, but it got done. Meanwhile, I've given them 5 months lead time, and they can't send us a box of stuff. And I'm like, I'm not even going to bother with your market alignment garbage. It's so, like, you're trying to work within the system. You try to be a good player, and you know, the team's run by monkeys, so I'm just whatever. Yeah, and so now we've got a 2026 survey that they put out, and I was basically like, you know what? I'm not even going to recommend the LAN because every time I try to work with you guys, it's so frustrating. And if we're, you know, especially from a lug perspective, if we're not a fan media person, you know, we don't care at all. Hello?
Oh, I just grabbed something.
Oh, how you doing?
I'm okay. Can you mute it for a second?
Sure. Sorry. I'm going to mute real quick. Hang on. Oh, you had to source it yourself. Okay. So you had to find it locally and then buy it, then they reimbursed you and then paid you a little bit, which I heard took a little while. Yeah, it's a whole thing, man. I just, on top of also being not a gigantic lug who does an event that gets less than 5,000, 10,000 people, like they almost don't want to deal with you if you don't do a multi-day, more than 5,000 person event more than once a year. It's like, who's got time to organize a 5,000 person event over 2 days more than once a year, you know? Yeah, that worked out. See, and they can do that. They're able to do that, but for whatever reason, when I give them plenty of heads up, it's befuddling. So, I don't know. I used to be an apologist, but I'm just kind of like, I want to work it from the inside and like see if I can help affect some change. I feel like it's a thankless job that the people are doing there because everybody's kind of on this campaign now of flip that over. Okay. Of, you know, the land is terrible and everything. I'm like, well, maybe there's a reason that they're all saying that. And I don't mind doing it. Like, I even volunteered to be a brickmate for somebody. Like, brickmate is when you get a new land starting up and they've got a new ambassador, they assign somebody, a brickmate to that person, so they can kind of help them navigate through the ins and outs of what to expect from the group, right? I had one. He wasn't great, but he was good. You know, he answered questions when I asked. But there wasn't a lot of proactive reaching out, hand-holding kind of stuff, which is fine. I found a lot of stuff on my own. Plus, I was still friends with the guy who was our previous ambassador, so I was able to ping him a lot. So it wasn't really necessary that I talked to this guy, but if I needed help, he was there. So I was kind of like, oh, I'll throw back a little bit or give back a little bit and try to help where I can. So you want to work with the group and you want to work with the system, but at the same time, it's like, you guys are not making this easy. It's pretty cool. Pretty simple foot design. Not really a lot there. Yeah, I agree. I think the thing that upsets me the most is that I've been kind of a Lego and LAN apologist for a long time. And it just, when you're doing so much to try to bring a good word to other people and they don't, thank you so much. And the company doesn't seem to care one way or the other. That's kind of like, really? Meanwhile, still building with it. But I think I'll probably end up getting... Uh-oh. Okay, so it attaches at the hips, slight offset, and it attaches down at this base, slight offset. So that's how you're going to get to him to stand. And we're on to bag 6. And look, the bricks are all very good after building some other stuff. It's still better quality overall than most other companies. I say overall and most because there are some good alternative bricks and good alternative companies that are doing, you know, what what do AFOLs want in their builds? They want motion, they want lights. Well, there's a whole company that builds whole sets with lights as part of it. It's not more expensive because of it. It's just part of the thing now, right? But instead we get, and this leads me into the next conversation topic, we get a smart brick. Now, I understand that this is Lego's way of, as the company, trying to be less digital and less, we're going to have kids look at screen time. You know, we're trying to get them away from playing video games and whatever. But, you know, Lego also makes video games. And I understand that they're trying to encourage playtime. With technology that I feel was around in the 80s. You know, a toy that you swoosh around and it makes a noise. Well, but this one knows that you're swooshing it and will make a noise. I'm like, I can make a noise. If you're going to program these things to be so great, maybe make the actual TIE Fighter noise or the actual X-Wing noise and not like a weird synthesized approximation of it. And I'm not, the rollout of it was weird because it was, I feel like it's meant for kids, right? Which Lego is. And it's meant for play, which Lego is. And it was pitched at a Las Vegas consumer electronics expo, which is not made for kids. So you would think that the audience at the Consumer Electronics Expo might be adults who like to display Lego and not just a trade show where Lego goes, this is the new thing coming up for kids. So it's like, maybe roll it out to educational communities. Like, is there an education expo you could have done this at instead? Where you can put it in the hands of teachers or the hands of educators or the hands of people who work with kids to kind of get their buy-in on this. Instead of like an electronics expo. The rollout felt like, here's how play is going to be for the next 5 years. Get on board. This is how it's going to be done. And it's like, I don't know many kids who really want this, but so it's not going to be really for AFOLs who build to display or build because they like the building techniques or build because they want the parts to then build something themselves, right? It's going to be so you can build something and it interacts with something else and you can play with it. But once you remove it from that, I'm not really sure what happens. Like if I take the brick that's near a tile in an X-Wing and I take the brick and put it near a tile next to a Pokemon, it'll act different, right? So I don't think that was made really expressly aware or expressly displayed. It just seemed really odd. The funniest part was Beyond the Brick did a thing where they kind of, there's a handful of people who got like exclusive access to see what it did. And the Beyond the Brick, was it John or Josh? I forget which one is in front of the camera. But you could see it on his face that he was kind of like pretending to swoosh and be like, hey, look at this. But it was kind of like, yay, you know. So, I don't know. Yeah, exactly. Light My Bricks is a good product to put in. But again, then you're paying premium for Lego and additional lights versus Lumi Bricks, which is, it's all built in and it's less overall. So, And honestly, I'm not going to be buying a whole lot of Lego this year anyway, so I'm not terribly worried about it. I don't think I'm going to be buying any smart brick stuff, for sure. I'm not the target audience, and I don't have anybody who is the target audience, but it would have been nice if this is the way play is going to be, maybe get some of these into the hands of lugs. Or, you know who's going to get a lot of these? The fan media people. They're going to get boxes and boxes of smart brick because they've got YouTube channels that want to show it off. And that's fine. But I mean, there are other groups. It's a very frustrating time. I kind of just want to go back, and now I understand why the guy before me, the ambassador before me, was like, I just want to go back to building. Like, I don't care about all this stuff. And now I understand why. It's frustrating. And I don't even know half the stuff that goes on. Well, people use off-brand train motors, they use circuit cubes, they use all kinds of different electronics and computerization and Raspberry Pi boards to, you know, sense when colors are picked up so it can do a certain thing. I mean, the technology is out there for this kind of stuff already. Lego's not doing anything new. They're just making it commercially available so you can buy it as part of a set, rather than maybe learn how to do it yourself. Ooh, that's gonna pop off. Anytime there's triangle tiles and they've got a little lip under there, that's gonna come off. My little fat fingers are gonna drive that right off the corner. Oh, you gotta head out. Leppin was definitely fake Lego. Lumi Bricks, others is not Lego, just not fake. Agreed. Thanks for coming by, man. Take care. Thanks for being in the Discord server and hanging out and talking over there too. Appreciate it. Okay, that's all done. I was gonna say, this is too big for his body. This must be the stand. And again, if I'm not being a purchaser, I'm just being a mock builder, none of this really impacts me. I'm gonna continue to use brick. Oh, that was the other thing was, I probably shouldn't talk about this a whole lot, but there was the lug bulk program. There's not too many people on here. I really don't care. There was some parts that weren't available, but would have been great to have in there because they were part of minifigures. You can get torsos, legs, helmets, heads, accessories, things like that. And there was a minifig that didn't have one of the accessories. And when we asked about it to the group, they're like, well, lug bulk has always been this is available and it'll help augment your building experience. It's not really a request-based thing, right? And they said there are other alternatives like Bricklink and whatever, and Pick a Brick where you can go get these things. And everybody jumped all over. It's like, except for all the places that Bricklink doesn't sell to anymore, all those countries, what are those people supposed to do? Oh, I was like, I kind of stepped in that one. As Beth says, there's a lot of drama for a kid's toy. And I have to agree with that. All right, am I all full up here? At the corners, at these guys, those guys, those guys. Good. Yeah, this is going to be the stand. Like so. And you kind of, so I don't know if you can see this, but it's built so he leans forward a little bit, because then his upper body, he's going to be leaning backward. So it's a balance thing. So when you put this guy in the stand, you can kind of see underneath, like some of it's going underneath and giving it a little bit of a rakish angle. So when he stands up, it's a little bit of an angle. I think that's great. I think that's a good build technique. Well done. Four, two, and one. Now we're making sand dunes, basically. Nope, nope, that's not where those go. They go there. I would love another Star Wars game, by the way. I don't know what's coming out soon, if anything, but I would love another open world Star Wars game. I know that Outlaws got kind of an update. Be nice to go back and see if that made it any more playable. Because I mean, I had it downloaded and played it, but I deleted it, and I don't think I kept any game data, so I might have to replay it all. I have to do this because when you're doing setup like this, it's hard to keep track. And you end up missing out on a lot of pieces. The only thing really keeping me from bailing on Lego altogether is the themes they have I like them. They have Star Wars, they have plants, the plants are really nice, and I know other brands do plants. They've now got the Horizon license, and so hopefully they can do more Horizon sets. So I'm still going to be encouraging people to build Lego, but I will also make sure that people know that there are alternatives. Because I also know that people say that Lego is just too dang expensive and they can't do anything with it, which is fair. It is. Hello, SK Costernop. Pawn reads. I'm trying to see if that's something backwards too. How are you? Thank you for being here. You want to take apart your French cafe and rebuild it? That was fun. Yeah, some sets are really good. Like, I enjoy a lot of the bigger spaceship sets are always really nice. Never really got into the modulars, but there's some that I kind of miss. I feel like I missed out on because they looked really fun. But with the price such as it is, I feel like you do have to pick and choose, and you can't pick everything. So that's where, like, do I do another Star Wars spaceship? Do I do a modular? Do I do a botanical? Do I do an art print? Kind of something like that. Ponrist sucks. I guess it's somebody named Ponrist. I get it. All right, almost done with bag 6. I don't think we're gonna get through all of them today, but I'll do my best. I really don't have anything else going on, so maybe. It's going faster than I anticipated. Yeah, they take less time to take apart for sure, but it still does take a long time. Make sure to get yourself a couple of these, especially if you got 2 plates that are together. I don't know if I can illustrate with the pieces I have on hand. If you have 2 plates that are stuck together and it's really hard to get 2 plates apart, not these 2 because they got bars on either side, just as an illustration. But if you got 2 plates that are stuck together, put one on the bottom and put one on the top, and you just squeeze and it opens up a little groove in there. And then you can get your fingernail in there and open it up. So if you get any 2x2 plates that are stuck together like that, and they're really hard to kind of dig in there and you don't want to use your teeth, put 2 brick separators on either side and squeeze it open. Works out really well. I was much later in my Lego life when I learned that, and I'm mad that it took me that long to learn that. But yeah, do your fingers a favor and give yourself plenty of time. Don't spend a whole lot of time on it, because your fingers will be hurting the next day for sure. Yeah, I'm 52 now. I was probably in my mid 40s when I learned that. And I've been doing this my whole life. So, I mean, a friend of mine showed me and I'm like, what witchcraft is that? Like, it's so simple. You're like, I should have just intuitively thought about that. All right. A lot of colorful bricks in here, which means there's a lot of internal work coming up. So what you should do is take it all apart and build a Millennium Falcon out of it. There's a guy online doing that where he takes sets like the Flamingo or one of the baby dinosaur sets or something and makes a Millennium Falcon out of it. Will it Falcon, pretty much, which I think is hilarious. It's a similar process to, which isn't exactly, but the similar process of, it's not carcination, but something like that, where multiple things over the eons have picked evolutionary paths and ended up with a crab. Like different animal lineages have evolved crabs. And it's not like crabs are like the ultimate animal. They're kind of the least efficient animal in some ways. In some ways, they've got some really good evolutionary traits, but the funny point of it is Lego evolves to like all sets just be built into Millennium Falcons. Yeah. I try to tell people as often as I can because I feel like it's kind of a brick separator secret. So that's why I meant to army building and do not have that many big sets, but maybe just battle packs. That's fair. I know a lot of people like army building. That's not my jam, but that's cool that people do it. It's great for mock displays at conventions and stuff to have like a large clone army or something. I will admit that looks pretty cool. I'm not a huge minifigure person, just whatever comes with the set. And I don't go out of my way to get, hey, these guys in red. That's pretty cool. Usually see them in dark gray, and that's about it. But when you do build mocks, especially if it's like, hey, our lug is getting together and we're going to build food trucks or a park or skate area or something like that, and we need lots of minifigures hanging around, I'm like, all right, well, all I have are stormtroopers and Jedi, so I don't know if that's going to work, but it's going to be his upper body. Can't really see it. I just put it up here. So it is beneficial to have minifigures on hand, which is why I like sets like the soccer stadium. I know the Icons of Play or whatever it was with the women's soccer team wasn't a huge successful set, but it had a lot of good minifigures in it in the crowd. The air football table or the foosball table thing with its replaceable heads, also a really good set for minifig people because they could get a lot of different minifig heads, so that was nice. Oh, that's sad, yeah. There's also the theory, the economic, it's not really a theory, but it's kind of like a rule of thumb that, because I have a Darth Revan somewhere. I don't really collect minifigures, but I've got this Darth Revan. This is the guy from the polybag, right? Apparently $200. It's really only $200 if somebody pays for it. If you can't get anybody to pay $200 for it, but you can get somebody to pay $100 for it, then that's a $150 set or $150 minifig, right? So I know Bricklink has the prices all over the place, but at the end of the day, if nobody pays for it, then it's only worth what somebody will pay for it, right? But finding that was like really weird because it was in a box of stuff that a coworker gave me. And they were like, our son has gone off to college and is moving out of the house. And we want to get rid of all his Lego. Do you want it? I know you're into Lego. We'll just give you a box of Lego. I'm like, that sounds great. Thinking it's going to be partially built sets, and they took out all the minifigures, or all the minifigures hands have been pulled off and they're broken torsos and all this stuff. And for the most part, it was like partial sets. But I was digging out all the minifigures and I kind of set them all aside in this Ziploc bag. And then later I was like, you know what? I was going to try to rebuild a mall for something and I needed a cowl. I was like, oh, I remember seeing some cowls in that bag of minifigures that I just bought. So I started going through the bag and I found this figure. I was like, oh, this is one of those. And my initial thought was, remember the battle packs that were like the Sith Trooper battle packs? And it had like, they had like weird helmets that are like Sith Commander helmet or something like that. And they were red and black. And that's what I thought this was. I was like, what? This seems like I don't remember this being part of that battle pack. That's really weird. And I did a Google lens on it, and it brought up Darth Revan, and the blood drained out of my face. I'm like, what? No, I can't have just stumbled onto this. So I emailed the lady who gave me all this. I was like, hey, there's some really good stuff in here. Would you mind if trying to assuage my own guilt? I'm like, would you mind if I paid you for some of this? And she's like, no, we just wanted it out of our house. I'm like, well, okay. She's like, our son is going like backpacking across Europe. He could use spending money. So you could pay us and we'll pay him. And that'd be, I was like, or does he have like a Venmo? So I Venmo'd him some money, I'm sure. And I had to put in the note, I was like, this is via your parents who wouldn't let me pay for all your old Lego. So, but I got like, had to have been about 10 or 15 mostly built Star Wars sets. Some Egyptian Star Wars or Egyptian Lego. Some Marvel stuff, early Marvel stuff. So it wasn't too bad. Is a Princess Leia? Oh, Princess Leia. Okay. I'm guessing that's what you meant. Like Princess Leia seems like a little too adult a phrase. And we'll just leave it at that. Yeah, I found these little gem boxes are kind of nice for keeping them pretty intact and dusted, dust-free. Oh, ×2. Got burned on the ×2. All right, I might have time for one more bag. Or how about we can call it a little early and then I'll work on 4 bags next time. Because I still have some pieces to get through here. And I'm excited to break open my Bricklink order and get some of those pieces into the stadium. That'll be nice. I have to oh man. So the stadium, I had to rework. I may have time here at the end to show you. I ran into what I thought was a really bad math problem because in building the stadium, I'd counted all the rows, and this would have been a lot easier if all the seats were the same color, because then I could just like en masse replace all the seats, right? But because they're each individual colors, I have to like select all of them, hide them, select all of them, hide whatever. But I was noticing that like the tops of both sides were like 1 row off, and I'm like, that's weird. And so I would count all the seats, all the rows up. And I'm like, well, that works. That math works. And then I would count all the rows up here, and I'm like, but that math works. So it turns out one section had one extra row at the top. And I, for whatever reason, miscounted that row. Like I wasn't counting the whole, I was counting the one section of it. So I was like, well, this sucks. So I had to figure out how to like shorten this one, but extend this one. And in the end, it made it so like the whole top was so much easier to finish off with like giant concrete back or whatever. And I'm like, oh, that works out so nicely. So in the end, a mistaken thing from the past didn't, worked out in my favor because I was able to fix a different problem. So that was nice. And I'll show you what I was talking about here in a second. But it also means everything is like really quickly coming together, and I'm pretty excited on getting everything built out. So a lot of these, it's good to get these like brackets in this gold color too. Just because it's a new color. Sometimes if they're flooding the market with these because there's a lot of these gold pieces, pearl gold, not metallic ink gold. It's good to have these as alternate brackets. Like you don't have to have gray or black or whatever, just as long as there's another color and you can have multiples of them. They might show up cheaper on a pick-a-brick wall or something. And I'm kind of excited to do the next theme bend. I was telling Johnny earlier that I'm probably going to do the Scout Walker next. And I have a Scout Walker, which means I can replace this one and rebuild it. But maybe I'll just get the parts for it and rebuild it and keep that one. The Slave 1, Tidarium Shuttle, X-Wing, and TIE Fighter are replaced. So I used most of their parts. But they were ones that I didn't really want to keep on display or anything. I think this Scout Walker with the AT-AT is a good size. And it's a good thing to include next to each other. Kind of a Hoth corner, if you will. But the other ones I might just build wholesale from new parts. We'll just have to see how that works out. But I'm going to do RoboForce with the Walker. I think that'll be a good match. So I'm excited to like kind of get into studio and crank out you have to build the set first. And I'll show you another thing real quick before we wrap it all up about building like actual Lego sets in studio. There's a good cause for actually doing that. Oh, flip around. And I want to publish it more widely that this exists. But there's a forum post on Rebrickable for those who like building in studio that we're trying to build out a kind of database of actual sets. So people, instead of going in and importing a set from the software and having it show up as all the pieces on your building area, you can import this, you can save it from the forum and then open it up in studio and it's a fully built set. So trying to build like a database full of these. I mean, it's just people are doing it for a hobby, for fun on the backside, and not necessarily anything they want to do all the time. But I think a crowdsourced way to get all those built would be great. I think that's something Lego should already have, but alright, got a belly sticker on. It's gonna be his belly. And that's it for now. Bag 8. So we'll pick up bag 8 on Thursday. This is where we've left off. I'm sure this is gonna go like this eventually. His belly, but we'll finish building this later. So for right now, let's flip over to design, studio. So here's the A-Wing Spirius version. So Spirius was like secret agents, right? There were space police, space bad guys, space regular citizens. Then there was like Explorians, which were supposed to be like, we're going out to the farthest reaches. Then there was RoboForce, which is all robots, but they were like these giant stacked robots on wheels and stuff. And they still had some of those articulated claw arms, which are great. And then there was Insectoids, which were like bugs and stuff. And then there was this Spirius, which didn't have a whole lot of sets. It did have like a base and a kind of a big ship and some smaller ships. But I like the red and black. So, but this is an offshoot of just doing this, which is just building a set in studio, right? And then you just come in here and change colors. So I kind of like the way I recolored this. I think it looks pretty rad. So what you can do is you can do this. You can build a set in studio, and then once you save it, you can come over here and go to Rebrickable. Now Rebrickable, for those who aren't aware, is a place where you can go to find mocks that people have built, right? So like here's, and some of them are premium, so you got to pay for the instructions. It's like a full Rebel fleet, the Empire Strikes Back fleet, right? I've got a few up here. I've got a handful of mocks. I took down a lot of my microfighters because they didn't have a watermark on them, and I was worried people were going to use them for AliExpress and other sites like that. So I do have some sets up here. I need to get some more up. But if you come over to the forum, there is, where is it? It's got a lot of posts on it, and I can't remember the name of it. I thought it was one that was easily found. Maybe in here. Lego sets in studio, right? So this forum post, it's going to take forever, but this guy, this initial poster, made a few Lego sets in studio to start a thread, and everybody could just drop their renders in here. So now if you wanted to pull this up in studio, you could download the IO file and then just open it up in studio, and it would be a fully filled out model. So I've done two. I did a tall neck and then this A-wing. So I think like there's the A-wing, right? So now if you downloaded this, you'd be able to open this up right here versus opening it up. And the reason I say that is if like I go over here, the only way to do anything in here is to import Lego set. And if you put in, you know, this number, you get this, and then it imports it, but it either imported as a palette, which is the available bricks that you can use to build, which is another whole thing. We can talk about that later, or import to viewport. Some of these don't exist because they're not printed right, whatever. But then it does this. I promise as soon as this is done, I'm going to be done talking. My throat is so sore. But it does it like this. It puts it all onto the palette, the build area, or not the palette, the build area, right? So then you have to go get your instructions and build your set. So like I was working on this earlier, and I just started putting this together. Once I get it all done, then I can upload it to that forum post, and then somebody can download it if they want to. So I think that's kind of fun. But that's what my next project is. And this I can kind of do anywhere that I got studio. I don't have to be building here. So yeah. All right, everybody. Well, thanks for hanging out with me today. Have a good rest of your Sunday. I hope you do something Lego related. If not, have fun playing games or seeing family or whatever you got to do. I will be back, I think, Thursday. Let me check my calendar. Yeah, nothing going on Thursday, so I should be available then. If you got any questions or anything, hit up the Discord. I'm usually on every day, hanging out, chatting with people, so hopefully we'll see you there. If not, have a good rest of your day. Take care, everybody.